Good afternoon, everybody. We're going to be heading up through Indiana to head home today. Looks like we're going to have a couple of days here where nothing's going to be really happening in the world of weather, so let's go home for a couple of days. If you were watching yesterday, we had a very uneventful day. Had that tornado watch, but didn't have anything happen inside the watch box at all. Not a single thing. Take you all along for the ride for a little bit. We're not going to stream very long, but keep the stream on for an hour or two here and there. Thank you to all of our YouTube channel members. We picked up a couple of them yesterday. Apparently, we had a problem with the store over the past few days. I guess the checkout button was not working, so. That is fixed now, though, so if anybody was trying to order from our store, you should be able to do that now. A lot cooler up here compared to where we've been the past few days. Obviously, you know, as expected, we're down below 60 again. There is a marginal risk for severe weather tomorrow in parts of West Texas and Central Texas, but I really don't think a whole lot's going to happen in the dew points. So the moisture content in the atmosphere is just way too low. Obviously, we could have went back out there. I don't think it would have been financially smart because I don't think too much would happen, but it's looking like it's going to be a moisture-starved event. So the dew points, the humidity is just not going to be there. I'd be surprised if there is storms like at all tomorrow, but we'll wait and see. If a severe threat does develop, I'll try to cover it from the office. Past couple of days of storm chasing just were not what I had expected. Or really what anybody had expected. You know, a lot of us thought that we'd at least get, you know, a handful of storms in here, or at least a small handful of tornadoes, at least a couple out of each day. We didn't get anything. There was that short-lived weak tornado south of Gerald, but again, guys, just I understand a tornado is a tornado, but a tornado that's on the ground for a minute or two is not exactly what we're after around here. Other than that, there really wasn't anything. You know, yesterday we had the tornado watch that took up a good portion of Alabama, and here nothing happened, which is obviously a good thing, but still. Definitely a miss on both days with the forecast. Sunday. Monday wasn't too bad of a day. The problem when we were in Central Texas there, we just couldn't get super aggressive, and with the sun setting early, we weren't able to really see anything in the daylight. I wasn't concerned that night about getting back farther to the east for more severe weather, which of course was yesterday. Then we could have went a little bit farther into Texas and seen some stuff during the day, but we had to be careful with it because we didn't want to jump the gun on anything. It's tough when you've got two areas on two separate days right next to each other, but the areas are far away distance-wise. Makes it really tough to do both days. Sometimes you can't. You can only physically cover so much distance in a certain amount of time. I don't know when the next time that we'll be out is. It's possible that it could be sometime this week. Usually fall, October into November. Usually has a couple decent storm chase days. We didn't really get any notable ones in October, surprisingly. But we'll probably get a couple here over the next 2 weeks, I would assume. At least a couple of days that are worth going out for. Yeah, it is dry. The Mississippi River looks like it's half dried up in some places. The Platte River in Kansas, or Nebraska rather, is dried up as well. Like completely dried up. The Red River that goes on the border of Texas and Oklahoma is dried up as well. Drove over the Red River Bridge coming out of Wichita Falls last week, and it's dry. There's barely any water in it. It's been a while since I've seen so many rivers dry like this. Like I said, that one was really surprisingly dry. I haven't seen that one like that ever. The Platte River has dried up a couple of times in the past, but it's just weird going over some of these highway overpasses over rivers and there not being a river there. A lot of these areas need rain really badly. That rain in Texas yesterday was much needed, but I don't think it was really a whole lot or enough and widespread enough to really do much, unfortunately. Still some colorful leaves on the trees, but I've been saying this past few days, the lack of rain in a lot of areas, the trees aren't very vibrant this year. A lot of them just look like they're dead. been pretty terrible today. This isn't bad, but it was pretty terrible coming through Tennessee. What's going on here? That's cool, just cut me off. Not like there's, nobody behind me or anything. God, I hate that. Traffic stopped down there. Why we're not down there? Should have built our interstates a lot wider. That's for sure. You could all use an extra lane. Stay out though otherwise. But this morning in Alabama even it was pretty cool. It's about 55 degrees in Birmingham this morning. might be some snow in northern and northwestern Colorado. I think tonight. It's either tonight or tomorrow, whatever, it doesn't matter. But, you could definitely see a couple inches of snow out there. Just kind of waiting for something, maybe bring some snow up into the Dakotas or the Northeast, but we might need to get on one of these kind of early season Colorado snowfall events here within the next week or two if we get one, just because everything's been so slow lately. Haven't been able to get out enough. Usually I don't drive out there to cover those snowfalls because they're usually pretty boring, very rural. Everybody just kind of stays home. It's usually like in the Midwest and the Northeast. Those snow events are the ones that you want to go live stream because that's when people are getting stuck and car accidents everywhere and it's just a mess. But usually those people like out in Colorado, even like the western plains, the high plains, those snowstorms, people typically just kind of stay home. And it's not very populated out there, so it's really not much to cover. Covered a lot of snowfall events though this past winter. Not as many as we should have. Or I guess I should say not as many as we had the potential to. Just from a business side of things, stuff just wasn't going very well over the winter, so it was tough to do much chasing. But the blizzard in eastern Massachusetts, it was January something, 27th maybe, I don't know. In January, that was pretty eventful. Extremely inconvenient though. Just that part of the Northeast is a pain to move around in, even when it's not snowing. And eastern Massachusetts is so heavily populated. It's really hard to get around anywhere. Everything's so congested. Streamed a couple of snow events in Illinois, but in fact I remember in February we streamed a snowstorm which turned into an ice storm in Illinois, and then the next day we had to get down to Mississippi and Alabama to stream severe weather. So you run into things like that all the time where you get a snowstorm on the north side of a system and then severe weather potentially on the south side. I always pick the severe weather, but sometimes you can do both. I believe last March 13th, no, it wasn't this March, 2 years ago, so a year ago in March of 2021, there was a kind of noteworthy tornado in Happy, Texas, in the Panhandle, south of Amarillo. I remember that event. We had a snowstorm on the north side of that, got like 1.5 feet of snow in Colorado, severe weather and tornadoes in Texas. It happens a lot farther east too, where we'll get snow in Indiana, Ohio, Tennessee, and then we'll end up with severe weather sometimes into like the Florida Panhandle and the southern parts of the Gulf Coast states. prolonged snow events though, winter storms. Almost feels like chasing a hurricane sometimes. You know, a lot of times everything's closed and kind of hard to get gas at times. Much rather have it be summer, but you gotta take what you can get. Yeah, ice storms are the worst. Thanks everybody for joining. We are just driving today. Figured I'd stream here for about an hour. Just coming around Indianapolis right now. It's a pretty small risk for a severe storm or two tomorrow in parts of Texas. Not look like it's a good day to chase, so I'm not going to. The moisture content is very low. There's just not going to be enough moisture for storms to really do much, unless something very drastic changes. But I don't really foresee that happening. If that does happen, though, I'll try to give updates and stuff from home, like usual. Traffic problems up here. I almost feel like we're going to get into traffic. These people would maybe, stay more than 10 feet off the back of my bumper, though. And people have forgotten what following distance is. You don't have to be 2 inches off of somebody's bumper to drive on the road. Pulled over on the side of the road there, was like flailing his arms around in his car like he was swatting at a bee or something. I don't know what the heck was going on there. That was weird. be so happy to get out of town here. Oh, this is terrible. I'm convinced a lot of this traffic is because people ride so close to each other and they're constantly touching their brakes. You know, if they just, you know, leave a couple of feet between the car in front of them, it probably wouldn't be such a problem. Start a driving school or something. I don't think that's what I want to do. Yeah, it is. I see the signs for Peoria and I get confused. I forget we're not, because there's another way you can go. You can go into Illinois and then up through Peoria, but that's not where we're going. But I always feel like I need to follow that sign over there. Sky's pretty today, at least. Back on 65 years soon, that'll help. 6 miles, yeah. Great. This drive is awful. So there's a couple of different ways that I can get down to the southeast for, you know, severe weather events. One way is to go through Illinois, go all the way straight south through Illinois. Or you can go down through Illinois and then go to St. Louis and then south down through along the Mississippi River on the Missouri and Arkansas side, cross over on Memphis. Or you can go through Chicago and then go through Indiana. Well, all of last year and the beginning of this year, I would just go through Illinois 100% of the time, but I got sick of it, so now I've been going through Indiana and I'm sick of this again. So I think the next time we'll have to start going a different way, because you make this drive 2 or 3 times a month, sometimes 6, 7, 8, 9, even 10 times a month. It gets really old. There's some pretty leaves there, but the problem is, like, there's really no good way to go through Chicago. You pretty much have to go around it. 290 is a joke. You can pretty much add 45 minutes to your GPS time if you have to go anywhere near Chicago. It's just gotten terrible. I mean, you can go around it, but you've got to go way around it. By the time you go around it, you might as well just sit in traffic. It's just an unbelievable joke to try to get through Chicago in a reasonable amount of time anymore. I'm qualified to say that. I think I've driven through Chicago probably 50 times this year. But it's just, it's gotten so bad. It's almost, and it makes you wonder how things are going to work in a couple of years. You know, the population is growing, it's not shrinking in that area, so the more vehicles on the road, the worse it is. I almost wonder if at some point they're going to do something like what New York did and put tolls, really expensive tolls on some of the local roads to try to discourage driving and people to ride share and stuff, because I don't know if they'll do that, but it makes you wonder, because some of the traffic around there is just awful. I mean, the road network, just when it was built, I don't think it was built to anticipate that amount of traffic. I feel like that's a lot of roads, though, unfortunately. Memphis, yeah, that's another terrible place to drive through. I always have awful luck getting through Memphis traffic. I really don't like Memphis personally. No offense to anybody that lives there, but just every time I go, anytime I get a hotel there or something, it's always a nightmare. I don't know. There's just too many people. I don't like being in towns where there's so much congestion. It's just stressful. It's irritating. Last time I stayed near Memphis was Olive Branch, Mississippi, earlier this year. No, it wasn't. It was back in December. It was Olive Branch, Mississippi, which is just south of Memphis. It's probably the worst experience I've ever had in my life. Never go there again. Literally had, I think, the rudest fast food worker ever. So I don't know if anybody remembers this or not. I put it was all over social media. So I was trying to get some free food out of Burger King, but they wouldn't budge. So I'd ordered on the Burger King app at my hotel, which was across the street from Burger King. And so I wasn't going to drive over to Burger King. I just ran across the street. So I ordered it on the app. I paid for it, whatever. I go over there and I walk in the lobby. Now the doors are unlocked. So I just walk in and the lady at the front desk like flips out. She's cussing me out. I was trespassing and all this, and I'm just like, what are you talking about? She's like, well, how'd you get in here? And I'm like, I went through the door. Like, how do you think I got in here? I'm like, what kind of question is that? Like, do you see a broken window anywhere? Like, keep in mind, it's like 5 o'clock in the afternoon. It's not like it's 3 in the morning. She says, to pick up my food, I have to go to the drive-thru. And I said, I don't have my car with. I walked here. She's like, no, the lobby's closed. You got to go to the drive-thru. I'm like, okay, so can you refund me the food that I paid for? And she's like, absolutely not. I'm like, oh, okay. So I walk through the drive-thru, and like they're not answering the speaker. So I'm yelling at the speaker, and there's a line of cars behind me. So we thought maybe there was like a sensor or something. So the guy behind me with his car drove up to the speaker for me, and nobody answered. So I walked around and I went up to the drive-thru window, and the drive-thru window was open, and there was a bag sitting there, and my name was on the receipt. So I just reached my whole arm in. I had to like stick half my body in the drive-thru window hole to get it out, but I kind of just reached right in there and grabbed it. And as I was pulling it out, she started screaming and cussing at me that it wasn't paid for, and I gotta pay for it, and I'm stealing, and I'd had enough. And I'm just like, lady, like the whole reason I'm coming through the drive-thru is because you won't refund my purchase. Of course it's paid for. It's got a receipt on it that says paid. I just took it and I walked away. I wasn't dealing with it. I was just like, you gotta be kidding me. I couldn't believe that. She was so offended that I walked in the lobby. I'm like, your door's unlocked. Like, your open sign is on and your door's unlocked. Like, what do you expect? I couldn't believe it. I was so mad. I was really looking forward to like onion rings too. Like that was the whole reason I wanted to go there, and they didn't put the onion rings in the bag. I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. You got to remember though, when you put 100,000 miles a year on a car and visit probably tens of thousands of restaurants and stores in a 1 year period, you know, you're bound to get stupid things like that to happen, you know, statistically. You know, a typical person might drive, what, 10 to 15,000 miles a year, maybe a little more. I guess it depends. I mean, people drive more now, but you know, and they might visit, what, maybe 100 different restaurants in a year. I mean, I probably could count 100 different gas stations I've stopped at in the past month, and places to get food and such. So, statistically speaking, I am more likely than anybody that doesn't drive this much to run into terrible experiences like that. But, so it's to be expected, but still, it's kind of frustrating. Yeah, Burger King is better than McDonald's, I agree. Burger King is a little better. I don't know. They've gone downhill though. A lot of food places went downhill with COVID and they never recovered. Applebee's has gone to shit. It's gone right down the toilet. It's an absolute dumpster fire anymore. Half the time the food's cold, or it's just not. It's not like it's the waiter's fault or anything like that. It's just like the menu, like they cut half their menu, and I figured they would bring it back after COVID. They never brought it back, and just on average, any Applebee's that I've gone to, the food's either cold or it tastes weird. It's not what it used to be. It used to be like 3-4 years ago, you could go to an Applebee's and it was a cheap place to get like halfway decent food, and it was consistent. The reason I liked it is because it was consistent. You could go to any Applebee's, order the same thing, and it was always tasted the same, it always looked the same, it always cost the same. And it was relatively quick. But like now, it's just everything now tastes really like they just pulled it out of the freezer and threw it on a plate. And I get that's honestly what's happening, but still, like they did a better job before. Chili's went down the toilet too. We went out to eat at Chili's the other night, and there was a hamburger patty that had obviously been sitting there for, well guys, I don't know how long it had been sitting there, but Google however long it takes a hamburger patty to turn rock hard to the point where you could probably bust a car window with it. And it's been sitting there at least that long. So it was just sitting right on the table. I'm like, you've got to be kidding me. And I didn't know what to do, and I didn't want to be confrontational and have them like spit in my food. So I picked it up and threw it. I threw it into the next booth over. I really didn't want it sitting at our booth because I didn't want the kid to like try to eat it. And like I said, I didn't want to be confrontational. And the next booth looked like it was still nasty and dirty yet. So I just threw it over there, like whatever. But like the food was okay, but we waited for like, it had to be almost an hour. And again, I'm not saying it's like the waitress or the waiter's fault. I mean, it's just, I think that a lot of these chains, the corporate places, have like they've either cut the staff or cut the pay or something to the point where these people are just not able to give the experience they used to. Because it seems like everybody at these places, you know, Applebee's, Chili, you know, all these places that have gone down the tubes, the people are still friendly. So it's not like it's the people. I really think it's like the corporate management that just, you know, they took their budget, you know, they changed their suppliers, whatever, they made everything a pain in the butt, whatever, it just filters down, I guess. But every Chili's that I've gone to lately has been crap. You know, the food's been okay, but like the cost of not the cost, but the customer service experience has been awful. Like everything's always dirty and stuff, and you know, which I guess I understand. I mean, if you used to have, let's say, you know, 10 wait staff and people like clean it up, and then your parent company cut you down to 5, I mean, I don't know how I would keep up either, but it's too bad. Pizza Hut, yeah, or I saw Pizza in the chat. Pizza Hut went down the tubes too. They got rid of the buffet. It's really disappointing. I mean, the food's fine, but I was really upset they got rid of the buffet. But you know, last time I made a comment about restaurants being terrible, a lot of people came at me saying, you know, I suck and all this because I don't understand the stress that the wait staff and the cooks go through. And it's like, I never said it was their fault. I never said it was the waiter's fault or the server's fault. I'm just saying that the food sucks now and the experience sucks. I don't care whose fault it is. It's somebody's fault. I don't think it's necessarily the front end. Like I said, I think that when these big corporations cut a lot of their menu and they went with cheaper suppliers and less staff for COVID, they realized that they could save money doing it, so they just continue to do it. It's kind of like Walmart. They used to be open 24/7, and they realized it's cheaper to be open for, you know, 18 hours a day instead, so they do it. You know, it's the same idea. It's not, I'm not saying it's the server's fault. Usually people that respond with something like that are very insecure individuals. Very insecure, bottom of the totem pole people, because those kind of people that love attention because they will literally redirect anything and twist it and turn it to make it look like you're the bad guy no matter what you say. I could literally say, you know, this person is I could say one thing and be like, yeah, it's the greatest thing ever, and then they'll turn it around and be like, yeah, this guy hates it. It's like, seriously. But it's not, like I said, it's not the front end's fault. It's whoever makes the decisions to cut whatever out. Because I asked somebody at Applebee's a couple of weeks ago, last time I was there, I'm like, why does everything suck? And it was funny because the guy literally told me, he said, it's because we don't have any staff anymore and they got rid of 3/4 of the menu. And I'm like, yep, that sounds about right. So what do you expect, you know? This guy's got to get off my back bumper. I'm going to end up slamming on the brakes and letting him figure it out. This is ridiculous. Pull pulling a trailer and you're 3 feet off somebody's bumper. That's a real stupid idea. Real stupid idea. It's 55 through here, by the way. We're doing 64. This guy's flying, so figure it out, buddy. Jesus. There's one place that hasn't gone down the toilet yet, though, and that's Noodles and Company. They're still good. They're really expensive, though. Like, if you just want a bowl of macaroni and cheese, you're spending like $15. It's kind of crazy, really. Qdoba is still good. A lot of those like make your own food places kind of deals are pretty good. Still, I try not to do fast food, but I'll do like Qdoba and like Noodles and Company and stuff. I really like Noodles and Company, but I don't, I've never paid so much money though for a bowl of noodles in my life. It's just kind of crazy, but you know, and Qdoba is expensive too, but you know, if you're in a hurry, it almost pays to just spend the extra money and go there. I think Red Robin's still okay though. Maybe it's by area. I personally think it's okay. I'd rather go there than like Applebee's or anything anymore. I've never been a big fan of Applebee's. I just think the food's kind of crappy, but like, I've always been more of a Chili's person, but I almost rather go to Red Robin, at least in my area. Anyway, I don't really have a plan for the next few days. But if there is severe weather tomorrow, I will definitely cover it. I think I'm going to take all the hurricane stuff out of the car. I've still got that 20 gallons of gas in here. Might as well dump it in. Need to get rid of that gas. About a month now. I don't want it to sit too long. I think we're definitely done with hurricanes for the year. There's potential of something forming down there, like in the Caribbean, but I don't think that's going to impact us. Really, really slow tropical season this year in terms of United States impacts. Interesting to see if we have a busy winter or not, though. In terms of snow. Definitely have to stop before we get back into Illinois, though. Try to get gas anywhere but Illinois, especially with the price, but you can tell the difference in the gas price between the states here. I was able to get gas for $2.98 in Texas, and I just saw gas for $3.99 up here. It's a dollar difference. of people were talking about yesterday being so uneventful. I am also surprised. That is the first time in a long time that I've ever seen a tornado watch not have a single warning of any sort in it at all. It's been a long time since I've seen that. Trying out a different method of streaming as well. So the next time we're out, I'll keep everything we're using right now that works. I'll have in the car for a backup, but I want to try something different. I'm not going to talk about what it is, or somebody will rip it off, but it's not really directed at anybody. I'm just saying somebody in the world of the internet will try to rip it off before I can get to it. Hopefully there's some sort of interesting weather somewhere between like Tuesday and Friday of next week. I'm sure there will be. traffic is thinned out a little bit here. Wednesday already. I can't believe it's the end of October already. Jesus. A lot of emails from viewers though, FYI, over the past week or so, just with ideas or questions or whatever, and I haven't answered a single one of them. I need to be in the office to do it, so if anybody's trying to get in contact with us, I promise you're not being ignored. I need to be able to sit down for a couple minutes and go through. We're redoing a lot with the store. We're putting a lot of new items on there. I've got a lot of new things on there that I think you guys are going to actually want. We'll put those up probably live. I think I'll probably get them up live. God, I don't know. Maybe tomorrow or Saturday. I've got a meeting tomorrow with a company that does a lot with streaming, and we're going to see if we can work something out with some different, a little bit more experimental technology. Guys, the entire reason that I built the live streaming backpack is because, one, that gun run backpack, the live streaming IRL backpack, I think that thing's a joke. I mean, it's great for what it is, but for IRL, I mean, who wants to carry around a backpack that weighs 20 pounds with a camera connected? I mean, no. I mean, that's fine. I mean, it was a great concept. It was great when it came out, but the reason I built this one with the different stuff, so it's much more lightweight, but still I don't want to carry the camera. So basically, I'm working with an app developer, and we are trying to turn a phone into the perfect streaming device. Built-in bonding, of course, with external connection. Lots of stuff like that. So hopefully we'll know a little bit more on the progress of that tomorrow. But if we could make it so that a phone would be just as stable of a live stream as what we're using right now, I would take all the stuff and throw it in a river. The end goal is to be able to just use a phone so we can go live anywhere. It's much easier. I used to stream with a phone, but they drop, you know, if you're using just a regular phone and streaming, you're dropping connection all the time. don't like that here at all. I hate that. So nobody wants to watch streams drop out every 2 seconds. It's like the most irritating thing ever. Watching some stream drops out every second. It is a nice day out in Indiana, I agree. A little bit cold, but it's the end of October. It's definitely not going to be 80 degrees. Reed's phone kept falling down yesterday. Oh no. But that's part of the show though, guys. Like, if you're going to be watching Reed's live stream, like, that's kind of part of it, you know, the chaos is part of the stream. It's all part of the experience. Like, if his phone wasn't falling off of his mount, or if it wasn't, like, you know, cocked sideways half the time, or he didn't accidentally have a camera filter on half the time, like, it wouldn't be fun. Like, the whole, like, that's the Reed Timmer experience, though. Like, if everything was 100% smooth 100% of the time, he would lose all the character in his live stream and nobody would want to watch it. Like, I feel like the slight mishaps that he has while he's streaming really adds to the value of the live stream. And I mean that's not sarcastic. I mean that in a very positive way. With that said, it's extremely difficult to live stream with a phone in the windshield on any sort of a suction cup mount because they just fall off. You can get those good suction cup mounts like from Steely, or you can get good mounts, but the problem is usually the good mounts, when your phone is in the holder, the camera sees part of the mount. So it's really hard to get a good solid mount. So usually you got to use something custom. It took me a long time to find a good one. His phone fell on the floor. at that perfect angle where it's just going to blast into the side of the car. There's a rock in my shoe, and I've been trying for the past 5 minutes to I've been trying to dig this rock out of my shoe for the past 5 minutes. Sorry. Can confirm that might be just as dangerous as texting and driving. I have to end the live stream. I just realized we've got a little bit of a situation going on with somebody. A little bit worried about somebody that might be in a little bit of harm right now. So I need to end the live stream and make some phone calls. I will catch everybody later. Go ahead and join the Discord. I'll leave the chat, the stream is ended screen up for a little bit so you can finish up the chat. I'm fine, my family's fine, but there's somebody in the storm chasing community that I think might be in a little bit of a situation here, so I need to take care of this. I will catch everybody a little bit later.